Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Cosmic Crit. This is your GM, Patrick, and joining me, as always, are my 5 fanciful players and my hunkiest junkie friends. I'm talking about Miles, Tyler, Rebecca, Drew, and Jabert. Welcome back, everyone.
Did you call me your honkiest, tonkiest friend?
If that's what you heard, then that's probably what you want to hear. I said hunkiest junkie, but
hunkiest junkie.
Honkiest junkiest makes sense as well.
You bring the honky, I'll bring the tonky, and we're gonna have a good time.
This podcast is a game of telephone. You hear what you want to hear. It's like you guys leveled up to level 15. No, 2 last week. 2 levels? No, just 1 level to 2.
I keep trying to convince Patrick that this AP really does go to level 4, not.
You gaslit me well, because I was like, does it go to level 4?
We're getting there. Oh, we're close. We're close, fam.
I do want to sell this AP as a great intro adventure to Starfinder. It is I think a little bit longer than a normal AP volume, and that's because it has a lot of great back matter that fits with the theme, the junkyards, but also has a lot of verbiage in the book for first-time GMs that kind of explain how a lot of systems in Starfinder working. Like multiple times, it kind of like goes over in the text how other players can like aid someone in a skill check and like suggestions on like what happens if they succeed and what happens if they fail. It's not as spelled out as the Starfinder beginner box, which is kind of like a dumbed down version of Starfinder, but is probably one of the best, very simple adventures to run for first time GMs and players. And I've already spilled the beans on it, but there's no Starship combat. So it's really just the one rule set that you have to learn. I love Starship combat. Anyway, you guys ready to jump back into the scrap heap?
Oh, yeah. Drew's getting honky and tonky up here.
You know it.
This week's adventure starts in the scrap in the junk yards, but not the car yards outside of Kethek Depot, but in the city's scrap yards of Marrow. Maybe a year or so earlier, we see a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Jewel popping out of what looks like a destroyed and junk starship exhaust. A very vintage-looking ship, maybe a few centuries old, half sticking out of the dirt, like a set of old bones, well picked over. Jewel, knows that old tech like this is great for compatibility issues in making your own drone. And we see for the first time your character installing some ancient servos and memory chips into Piston, and your drone coming online for the first time, taking flight. Do you think Jewel is one that would speak with Piston, like talk to it, even though you can technically, command it just like a, I guess like kind of what it looks like a drone like we have.
It's funny you ask, because I'm sitting here in my head, like as soon as it came online, I'm sure the Joel would be like, well, howdy, partner. It's good to have you with me. Help me scavenge for more parts.
I got to imagine, there's like limited AI in it, but it enjoys being spoken to and having its audio sensors perk up. So yeah, it's got to act a little bit like the robots, the aliens from Batteries Not Included. So it'll waggle side to side or dip its front side up and down to mimic shaking head or nodding yes. Do you think you treat Piston like a pet or like a coworker, or what do you think the relationship is there?
I think she's protective of Piston. I think it's more like a dog, like more like a pet, but a best friend kind of pet, not just like an animal that lives in your house, but like, your good buddy that you do stuff with.
And I mean, maybe this is a little personal, Rebecca, but have you ever, I know you've had some kind of smaller to mid-range dog. Have you ever had like a big dog before? Have you ever felt protected by a dog?
No. But also, this is a hover drone. I don't think it's very protective.
Well, it's not going to tank a lot of hits for you. That's for sure. And I don't even think Itis did. But I mean, it's got your back. It's like another set of eyes that you can see through. So you feel perhaps maybe a little more protected on your walk back from the scrap yards of Marrow, as well as from the car yards. Jewel got pretty hurt over the sojourn through the car yards. Do you think you'd be more worried about yourself or worried about your drone? I don't think the drone has taken any damage yet. It's a lot of melee characters so far.
Yeah, at this point, she's been pretty successful in keeping Piston out of the melee. So I think at the moment she's a little more worried about herself, although she's not doing too bad herself. So
okay. So you guys have succeeded in finding Very 13, the scientist researcher android that Riddle sent you out into the car yard to look for. And we see, maybe a brief montage of you picking up El Demonio Verde and getting him back on his feet, and almost everyone here just limping out of the car yards, very carefully walking past some of the more treacherous areas, including the cesspits of like battery acid, and back to Adventures in Junk. I should say one thing we talked about last week is there was an uncharged junk drone as well, where you found Very 13, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is a, half rusting kind of drone, very similar to Piston, but a lot less capable, but still worth a good amount of credits. In addition to that, we will indeed flash forward back to where you guys can get to Adventures in Junk. Just dust of the car yards, grease and blood streaked all over your faces. And as you're going to the front door, it is locked. As you're jangling the handle, you hear a hissing sound from down the alleyway, and back behind some trash cans, you see Riddle kind of like beckoning you forward through some other side streets and into the agency's back door. And she says, "Sorry about the added precautions. I got word from a neighbor. DeTrullo's gang is watching my business and is waiting for me at the entrance from down the street. Looks like you all managed to find Very. How are you, Very? And you only took about half the day and what looks to be about half of your life in order to do so. Boy, howdy. I thought the True Warriors did a number on me. It looks like you guys are on death's door."
I think I'd rather deal with the True Warriors than ever have to deal with the Kavak again. Or the Kev, whatever those stupid bugs are. I'm sick of bugs. I'm going to lay down and pass out.
Yeah,
I hope you don't mind some blood on your couch, because that's what you're getting.
Oh no, please go to the flop house that already has a million questionable stains. This is a business. But I figured I had the right desperados for the job. Very welcome back. What did I tell you about wandering around the city without a guide? You're going to get in trouble. Very has been pretty quiet, a little reserved on your walk back. Very thankful, very gracious, but they've been kind of out of it and nearly destroyed by a Kefak themselves. As you guys go back to the flop house, she says, first of all, I want to thank you once again for rescuing me. I know I chose correctly with going with Riddle's agency and helping me in my task. The Ahsoki behind her tries to interrupt, but Very waves her off and says, "Don't be modest, Riddle. Your employees are to be commended, and you should be thanked as well for your management." Riddle will kind of shrug and let her continue. The android Very says, I shared some of this with Riddle, but I think you all should know how I came to Akaton, what it is I am doing here. As you may know, well, sometimes when androids such as myself pass into the next world, when we die, our mortal shell becomes home to a new soul. This is especially true if the android chooses to relinquish their life, but it also occurs if the body is relatively intact. And this was the case for one of my progenitors, Very 8. They were an engineer aboard a scientific research vessel known as the Stellar Flare in the years shortly after the Gap, hundreds of years ago. The crew engaged in experiments to develop a new source of power drawn from the then recently discovered drift. And they believed that technology, similar to that of drift engines, could provide unlimited energy without the need for batteries. Unfortunately, their research ended abruptly when their ship incurred an accident, and it caused them to crash here on Akaton.
I see, yes. Experiments with great power sources have a tendency to do that, I see.
Yes, but don't you see? If we can salvage some of the technology from that ship, the Stellar Flare, we might be able to restart that research. It could change the galaxy. It would be one of the single greatest technological innovations since the creation of the drift drive and travel itself. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, yes, that's incredible. Oh, my goodness, yes. Of course, and to think that this kind of technology could have been invented hundreds of years ago. That is, what a change that would have had on all of civilization.
It would have certainly changed the course of the entirety of the Pact Worlds and beyond, for certain. I get short snippets of Very 8's life, flashes, really, and it is what I saw in those flashes that sent me on this quest in the first place. It was kind of like watching, an old holovid, but only a few seconds at a time, days apart, and out of order. But one memory I had many times was getting into an escape pod from the Stellar Flare and ejecting above the red planet. I believe my progenitor knew at the speeds they were entering the atmosphere, they would surely perish. So the escape pod was just there for my descendants so they could easily mark perhaps where one might find the Stellar Flare's wreckage.
I see. But tell us then, Very, where did you find yourself upon this planet? Why don't you just return to that place?
That was Very 9. I am Very 13.
Oh, that was some time ago, I see. Oh, I see.
Yes.
I'm not good with numbers, you see.
If you want to put it in biological terms, that was my great grandparent.
Ew, gross.
I don't like to think of it necessarily like that, but it helps some of you non-synthetic life forms. I was able to trace that escape pod signal, I believe, here to Akaton from Absalom Station, and then here to the Kefak Depot. And yesterday I was able to trace it to the car yards. And when I went out there, following my lead, I got cornered by that radioactive Kefak after I found the pod out there in the wastes. I was able to copy its transponder code for the ship. So I thank you for finding me out there and giving me a rescue. But as soon as I am able to rest up, I want to return out to those junk piles. I don't care if it takes days or weeks or years to search through every scrap heap here on this planet, but I know that it is out there now, and it is the discovery of several of my lifetimes.
Does that their transponder have data on it we could look at?
Yes, I would like to spend the entire evening if I can here, working on my console to try and sort through it from what I can suss through some of my memories. But I believe that we will be able to use it potentially to find where the stellar flare is. I presumed I'd have to trace these codes to the starship because the transponder, well, it must be destroyed or lost power after so many times. But when I was out there, I got a very faint signal. Somehow the ship's transponder, its black box, if you will, it was still broadcasting. I mean, what are the odds? Centuries later. So yes, I'm going to process the code, and you all took quite a beating in that fight. I think you should rest, and perhaps in the morning after a few hours of work, we'll be able to go. Are you still able to adventure out into the car yards after that daring rescue? Riddle, are your employees okay to continue their work? Riddle is kind of like scratches her head. It's like, these guys need rest, right?
Ooh.
Mixer has been asleep the entire conversation.
El Demonio has also been asleep this entire time.
Sitting on
none of this pertains to him at all.
Yeah,
I'm afraid if I get a splinter, I'm gonna die.
Riddle says, these folks, half of them are unconscious, but I told them if they brought you back alive, they could have the finder's fee. Most of the deposit you paid me is now theirs. By the way, here's your cred sticks. It's 500 credits each, so spend it wisely. And because it looks like some of you nearly died to get Barry back, here, take these medical supplies in this trunk. She kicks open a tub at her feet, red and white plastic, and there's 5 Mark I healing serums inside.
Nice.
Yeah, rest up, place some orders. We'll try to get you maybe equipped overnight and spend some of those credits. And Barry, we'll talk tomorrow about, heading back out to the car yard for another tour. Right, so you guys are able to rest up. You'll have some time to do some shopping. But before we started recording tonight, we talked about the ability of your now enslaved, pet assembly ooze to randomly assemble, first disassemble and then assemble gear for you. And in lieu of, throwing a ton of credits away, just selling the items, you've opted to transmogrify them, I believe is the technical term. Is that right? So we spent some time randomly rolling. If you don't know the assembly use, you can put items in and randomly it'll reassemble them into other items. So you can put in a pistol and it can come out a suit of armor, or you can throw a grenade, not a live grenade, into it and it can spit out a heavy weapon. And we did that a whole bunch of times. How many times did we do it? Like 9
like
or
16
10?
times.
A lot.
And
because we each got to go twice. So
well, yeah, there's it's all the gear that you took off of the true warriors. So it's like lots of suits of armor, some pistols, baton, survival knives, and it spit out a lot of pistols and armor and a couple of melee weapons, a couple of heavy weapons as well, but no technological items or grenades. There's like 1 in 8 chance one of those came up, but you got some more gear, and I imagine one of you just has to wake up every hour or so and take something out of the Home Depot bucket and put something else in.
Joel will do that. That seems like something Joel would like doing.
You've got time to shop and rest up, and just a reminder, when you get a full night's rest, you get all your SP back, all your RP back, and you guys leveled up, so you get 2 HP back as well for level 2. And I guess I should ask, does anybody want to burn some of those Mark I healing serums?
100%.
You're at how many HP, Miles?
Well, 2 now.
I mean, I think people must have brought you back to consciousness at the end of last week's episode, so you can have 3 HP.
Would it help if I can, as Mixer, do some medicine checks and administer some of these serums to help? Like I have a new ability that we got with level 2. We haven't talked about level 2 yet, but I
figure we just play as we go and use your abilities as they happen.
All right. Well, I will offer, if anybody wants to use a healing serum, that I can try to treat deadly wounds to get some HP back first.
Yeah,
dumb to do at the beginning of the day.
Well, you can still only do it once per day, right?
I don't know that.
Yeah, unless you have some ability that says you can do it more. Is it once per day or is
it once per character per day?
I mean, both, but yes. A creature can only receive deadly wounds treatment once every 24 hours, technically. So if you already use it on them after the fight, you'd have to wait until like later on in the day anyway for that. So
I don't think you've done it on me yet. Could you roll me a little medicine?
Oh, I can.
Oh yeah. Oh, I need it.
You still just have the basic med kit.
That's a 21.
Oh, shoot.
Not a success.
Well, you don't chop my frontal lobe off. You don't give me a proper lobotomy. So
I don't think there's a negative for failing.
Oh, this isn't second
edition. This isn't second edition where you can I'm going to heal you and they're dead now. I roll the 1. Let me use a hero point.
I will
as well.
I will happily take some healing.
Well, I think they had to have brought you back up with this as well. So I think we're in stabbing with serums territory at this point for everyone now.
Okay.
Which is really bad news because with 2 people at 3 hit points, that's a lot of stuff.
I think that's where that's going to go.
I have some medicine if it would help. I mean,
I should say as you guys leveled up, you get those HP that you would get with your level up. So those don't you don't start at 0. So Miles, when you level up, you actually get your HP for level 2. I'm not a monster, guys.
I really wish it was less complicated. I wish it was less complicated than this.
I've been reviewing my purchasing options, and I can't think of anything better to spend my money on than healing my friends. So I'm just gonna buy another 5 serums of healing. So go nuts, everybody!
All right, let's roll those ones on d8s.
Oh no!
Who wants to start?
Don't waste my money.
I will start. I'm going to start as Mixer because
healing yourself.
Yeah.
Back up to full.
That's what they like to see.
A 6 on a d8.
I can if I roll an 8, I only have to use 1 because I'm exactly 8 hit points down.
Why would you say that?
Dang it.
A 2.
Tyler, what do we say when things like this happen?
Roll another d8, Tyler.
It's another 2.
I was looking for a toot kaboom, but you literally did it. Toot kaboom.
2 2s and 2 2s.
Here comes the kaboom.
No.
Yeah, third one on you?
No. Tyler,
No.
how many HP are you down?
I'm only down 4 at this point, so I'll write it out.
So hang on, because Mixer now has an ability. It is called field dressing, where I have 3 uses of this a day that I can basically give you my int bonus to HP, which is 3. So I can just I can give that to you, and now you're only down 1.
I'm only down 1. That's perfect.
Yeah, you could have done that the previous day before you went to bed, so you don't have to use your ones the next day for that.
Well, because I could use that 3 times. Can I use that? Can I retroactively use that for people that need it before we start rolling all these D20 or D8s?
You guys leveled up right after the fight, so feel free to take those back.
Who else wants 3 free HP?
Me.
All right, you got it, El Demonio. It's yours.
Do you want to roll a
absolutely.
Single one?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll at least a single one.
All right.
And all right.
Boom, baby.
I needed.
All right. A max of 8 on the dice here, and probably the second time in Cosmic Crit history you've rolled an 8 on a hero, a serum of healing. Oh boy. Anybody else need to roll some before we move out?
I'm down, I think 3 right now.
Then 3 is yours. You got it. It's yours.
I got him at the 3.
How is Jewel on HP?
I'm at full.
Okay, so
Nice. All right. So how many serums did we just burn there? Just 4?
I burned 2. Miles burned 1.
And then Drew took 1.
I
burned
burned 1.
Yeah.
All right, great. So we got 6 left over. I'm gonna hand those all over to our biohacker friend.
Oh
Because he's got those things like hooked up to us
Oh, yeah,
already,
'cause he
so you can just
shoot.
like squirt them right
I
into
also
us.
bought
don't use-
a bunch
don't
too,
say
so I have 5 personal ones as well.
Wow, we've got 11.
You have 5 in your inventory?
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So how many are you
perfect.
handing me,
We're
Jabber?
just going to be
5. I'm handing you 5. But,
Oh,
but
gosh.
there's another one that you already have, so you have 6 of them in your inventory now.
Do you guys remember when?
No, I
when
now
you
have
had
9 of them in my inventory because I bought 4.
So you've got 10?
Do you guys remember the season with the Mystic? And
Yeah.
like you very rarely went into HP damage after book 1. Anyway,
it was a good season. I'm not. That's the one thing about season 4 that I'm high level adventures with. I can't even call it. I mean, no real mystic.
let's get back into it. The next morning, you guys can wake up, and a very eager, sleepless, very 13 comes up to you and says, "I'm glad you've decided that my cause is worthy. I want to thank you all once again. The interest that you show here. I as exhausted as I was from my travails in the car yards, I have nevertheless worked all night examining the stellar flames transponder signal, and I have tried sending a message to the starship, but I have alas received 0 reply. However, I believe we can pinpoint the stellar flare's location with reasonable accuracy if you'll be gracious enough to lend me a hand. But computers are not my strong suit. But if any of you are trained in the computational sciences, I will need your help, as I have run into the extent of my skills with electronic tracking. I've hit a stumbling block. Is any of you able to use this computer?
Well, sure, I can.
I believe that computers and Spanish and that other thing we talked about. These are the only 3 gaps in my knowledge.
So obviously our engineer probably trained, but do you actually not have any computers skill points, Jabert?
I have none. I have an enormous brain.
Well, you're still an imp-based character. Do you want to aid?
I can try to aid. Yeah, I can try to think real hard about the problems that they're working on.
Very 13 can try and help out as well. Oh no, 3 on the dice. So you've got a +2 from Very, kind of explaining what she's discovered. But go ahead and give us a roll, Rebecca, for Jewel.
All right. I picked up a hacking kit with this too, so that's only a 13 though.
So you're maybe listening a little bit more to Libyans than to Mary.
El Demonio knows his way around a computer as well.
Oh, do you? Ooh.
What did he do editing when he was a small time wrestler?
Well,
Did he edit his own videos.
Let's use that.
Yeah.
El Demonio needed to work on his social media profile, so he put the work in, Tyler.
So
right.
as
you gotta do
as,
the promos, son.
Yeah, I mean,
as the rest of you guys are
Props.
waking up, an hour passes as you're not able to make headway, unfortunately, Jewel.
Yeah.
But Demonio, you can
Libyans is just turning on and off the sticky keys and like.
feel free to roll again, the Libyans. We're going to use El Demonio's and Vary's aid for this next one. But if you can get another one, you can get that up to +6, Jabert.
One more.
Yeah,
try.
for hour 2. And
Oh, let's try it. Oh,
not that you have all day, but
hooray!
All right,
I
so-
figured out the sticky keys.
Rebecca +6, which it's taking you to plus 17 for your dice roll here. Do not roll another 2, and we might have this.
All right, I'll try. It's a 27.
There we go.
Plus
Plus
how much?
6.
6?
All right. Never mind. You do it by yourself after you get it explained to you. Yeah. So it's a couple hours of work. You're able to pinpoint kind of like general cardinal directions, even though there's like definitely some interference from the scrap heaps. But like straight east of Kefek Depot. And after kind of triangulating it a little bit, Riddle comes forward and pulls out a map of the area and lays it out for you guys to examine. And it seems to be in some of the oldest crashed starship frames ever discovered on the planet. This area outside of the depot called the Outer Junkfields. And when you figure out like that's where it's sending you, Riddle just, vehemently shakes her head. It's like, oh, no. Well, I'm sorry, Very, but the Outer Junkfields, they're a death trap. Have been ever since, a bunch of space goblins and then the Keshtis moved in about a year ago. They've turned the place into a war zone. The goblins, the Keshtis, each think that they should be in charge. Neither side's willing to budge. They don't let anyone else go out there without, robbing them or worse. They're constantly trying to kill each other. There's a no-fly zone over that entire area because they bring down everything that floats overhead. You'd think that at this point, one of them would gain the upper hand. But they're also so tenacious, that bunch. I'm sorry. It's just too dangerous. Obviously, Very 13 objections. Oh, nonsense. You've got the bravest, most clever guides in all of Kefek Depot here. I've seen them firsthand, and you all seem to have a sense of adventure about you. Beyond, potential fame and fortune inherent in such a discovery. Think of the educational and the historic value of such a find this could bring in. Do you guys have any, is anyone reluctant to go into a more dangerous part of the outer junkyards?
I have to say that the line about anything overhead is in danger. I think Jewel would instinctively reach out to Piston and pat it.
Yeah, I think
drag it down like a balloon. No,
right, come down. I think Olivia sort of floats down a little bit lower. Just shorter than El Demonio.
Mixer laughs a little bit because he's like 2 feet tall.
Right. As low as I try to get, I can't get lower than Mixer.
Javi would step up and say, I don't care where we going. As long as you're footing the bill, I'll be there.
Well, Very 13, kind of jumps in. Money is no object. Considering the importance of the Stellar Flare's research, Riddle kind of nods and looks at you and says, there's hazard, pay in a job like this. Maybe it's worth your guys' time. Very 13 continues and says, you all are welcome to the remains of my research grant from the Feldspar Research Fund. Right now, I'm down to only 8,000 credits, but I will personally have it transferred to your accounts when we find the wreckage, when we make the discovery. All I need is to send some verifiable proof back to Feldspar HQ, and I will wire that money direct. That is nothing. That is very small potatoes compared to the financial windfall of a scientific discovery like this. I'm very happy to offer you all a complete individual 5% stake in future sales of this technology. That could set you up for life. You included, Riddle, as co-owners of this discovery.
Now slow down. I don't want my name on any hoity smarty intellect papers or any research discovery, future grants, whatever have you with it.
Oh, Javi, I am so sorry to tell you. I am going to cite you as a contributor on all of my papers.
I'm going to have all those redacted, my friend.
You're getting BCC'd on emails for the end of time.
Oh, yes. We will have vast email chains discussing the finer points of punctuation.
And some of my coworkers don't know how to use email. They will reply all.
They're going to reply all of the time.
This is one of the few times I'm glad I don't actually
everyone
have a
stop
real name.
replying all.
No, I think I will pass on all that, as fine as it may seem, as long as I have rights to keep whatever I find inside the ship, besides your computers and things. There are bound to be weapons and other artifacts hidden in such a wreckage. Let me keep those, and we'll call it even.
I have no problem with that so long as it does not pertain to the research that they had on the ship, but they might have some fairly vintage antique weapons, perhaps, as it was hundreds of years ago. Those might be very valuable as well. I mean, there might be not a lot of that left if it has been in the junkyards for so long, but I have high hopes that at least part of the ship is intact if the transponder beacon was active. As I said, I would gladly share future profits, minimum 5% for each of us. And so long as we can head out there now. Do you guys have any questions before you move out and go to another part of these massive junk fields? Sounds like even a larger area than the car yards. There's a whole section here, I think, for a lot of new players for Starfinder, talking about like what are space goblins. And it gives a description of them, and you guys know of Akeshtis as well. They are another small spacefaring lizard kind of race.
I was going to ask if there was any kind of route through is this a city or, area that we can avoid some of the trouble, perhaps stay out of people's way?
Yeah, so Riddle can help you with getting out of the city, like moving around the outskirts. It'll take like a full hour to walk around the city, but I mean it's still morning at this point, so there'll be plenty of daylight left for your walk out into the wastes. She says that she's going to stay here as it's still a little too dangerous for her to be out in the streets, but is confident after you've returned with Very from the car yard, you guys can do it yourself. So yeah, she will wish you guys luck. She says she's going to keep an ear out here in the depot in case you get in trouble, and says, like I said, be careful out there. Those Outer Junkfields, they're dangerous, and they've been places that have been picked over time and time again over the centuries. There's all kinds of old wrecks, and some of the first junk prospectors out there, well, they were an ornery bunch, and they might have left traps behind or let loose unnatural animals into the environments, and who knows? Just keep your wits about you, junk finders. All right? So long and good luck.
That should have been what this game was called.
Junk Finder.
Junk Finder.
Cosmic Junk is the name of this mini season. Yeah, guys, I hope you're not tired of descriptions of decrepit scrap heaps, because we got quite a few more. Okay, so yeah, about an hour to get through the rest of Kefek Depot unnoticed, skirting the edges here. And compared to the car yards, where you did find these very clearly delineated paths, as you get to the outskirts of the junk fields through another area that's similar to the car yards, kind of like the more manicured junk heaps, you get to just endless mazes of barely visible trails, the ground, if you will. I mean, it's just like walking over giant bags of junk and trash and things like that people have left out here. This is not the tourist friendly area that the car yards were. And one of the directions Riddle gave you before you headed out here is when you see a tower of refrigerators that you're at the border of the Outer Junkfields. And the walk there, you spend like maybe another hour or so. So we're about midday as you walk past what is known as the Rust District outside of the depot. And you see a whole bunch of various landmarks. There's a small lake of disposable plastic containers. You see a warped, kind of fused together tree made of panels and panes of transparent aluminum, and an entire tunnel leading into the Outer Junkfields, made out of 11,924 copies of the game E.T. for Atari. They made it all the way to Akaton.
What's an Atari?
Survived the gap.
Got off to.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
That's right. The only piece of knowledge that has survived the gap is these ET games.
Just like the Easter egg in the Star Wars prequels, ET is an alien race in Starfinder. It's not canon yet, but he's in the background of like every scene of Absalom Station, just like ET.
Aren't we
Like,
all
trying to learn
here?
Yes, but we're talking specifically about ET. You know who I'm talking about when I say ET, Rebecca.
He's sitting back at the payphone, like looking for a quarter.
All right, and
Do yourself a favor and never look up the sequel plot, because it sounds like a wild homebrew Starfighter. It's nutty.
ET kicks in the door with like bandoliers of ammo.
Like
it's like,
his
come with
race
me
are
if
like,
you want to live.
His race are like bounty hunters or something. It's really wild.
Come with
Sarah
me.
Connor.
I'm looking for a boy.
I'm sorry to say this because I don't think you guys are super well trained. Is anyone got survival? Can you make me some survival checks making your way after you get past this tower of refrigerators?
I certainly can try. No.
It's a 19.
Ooh, 19. Okay, so yeah, DC 18 keeps you on the right track, following this very, kind of just cardinal directions through.
Hey, you got to know your way around run a venue.
Oh,
My sense of direction is on it.
You could just love camping.
No.
Let's see.
It's like, I always know where craft services is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so with that and successfully kind of tracking the signal earlier in the day, one of the first clearings that you come to as you move forward opens up into like a small valley where you see swaths of trash have been kind of pushed away, and you see red pitted earth underneath the junk here, and there are a bunch of stagnant pools full of very filthy standing water surrounding a dark but dry looking hole in the middle of this clearing, about 10 foot in diameter. Can you take us to map of what we're seeing here? Boop, boop.
Trash Valley. That's what they call this place.
A bunch of trash. And I will bring up the characters 1 sec.
Some sort of a toad hole.
I mean, it is a hole in the dirt. Does anybody want to examine here or make some conjecture?
Can I send the drone to kind of fly over cautiously?
Right, if somebody's gonna fly over and get like eaten in one bite, I'd prefer it for it to not be me. But so thank you.
Yeah. What role can we do for this, Patrick? Perception, physical science?
Well, let's have Piston make a perception check.
This looks suspiciously like an anthill or something.
Piston's not so good at perception.
Great.
I don't think
That's
anyone
really
is
bad.
good at perception, right?
Oh,
That's a 7.
Okie dokie, I'll go take a look.
No,
I mean,
no, come back. You come back.
Well, I mean, you can take a look from afar before. Are you going up, Javi?
Yeah. Listen, I love Jabert to death, but he can't just keep suicidally running the brain into bad situations by himself.
No, I
like 4 times already in the short time we've had this campaign going, and I'm sick of it. He doesn't get to kill his character so he can roll a new one. I'm not allowing it.
No, I want to be an operative again. No.
So yeah, if as the brain floats into inevitable danger,
I have a very low strength. I'm sure you can just pull me back if you want.
Do you want to
look? I'll take a peek while I'm there. Oh,
do you want to fly over the pit, or do you want to be like kind of level with Hoppy so he can grab you?
I'm sort of like at ground level. Sort of like if there's a pit, I'm sort of like staying like at the normal ground level.
Yeah, I mean, it is a fairly deep, dark hole, and I mean, you see just like mounds of dirt and maybe some things that look like perhaps animal markings. Why don't you make me a life science check looking around these pools as you go? Anyone that has moved forward to the hole. So Javi, if you want to make one, go right ahead.
Oh no.
Can I move forward to the hole and do a life science check?
Not at this point. I'm going to move you back, El Demonio, because as you're looking down, peering in, let's get into initiative turn order as you hear a from down below, and popping out said hole are a couple of fairly large, kind of like big dog size lizards, tailless lizards, horribly mutated. You can tell by Thasteron, very thick hides of shiny crystallized materials protruding from bulbous backsides.
This is the most trash initiative we've rolled as a group.
I've never seen it.
Oh
this bad.
no! Oh, Drew saves it. Drew saves it with a stellar roll.
Help us, Drew. Help us.
I was trying to do a life science check, but y'all are like, I'm gonna go and float over the hole. But no, I got +9 to life science. Come
Shut
on.
up, Drew. Speak up. You can't be a wuss in going to the hole and then hear something about life science and decide you actually wanted to be over there.
Yeah, no life science, and unless you see if you gotta look at the hole, you gotta pay that toad hole toll.
I'm sorry, I don't want Tyler to get so close to holes to save other characters from holes that he tries to. Yeah, I know he wants to be an operative. It's fine.
I'm only gonna kill the good characters.
Yeah,
the money is going down.
There's a conspiracy on this show. There's those who want Jabert to die so he can have an operative, and there are those who don't.
And then there's everyone who's not named Jabert on the show.
Oh man! But trash initiative rolls by everybody but Drew. We all rolled single digits.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy!
Even luckily, even Patrick rolled single digits. So
we're just saving our 20s, Tyler.
Yeah.
You know what? I hope so. I'm hoping combat's good. These things, I don't know if they're supposed to be scary, but the art's kind of cute, actually.
It's not bad. These are, I can tell you before you even get a look at them, faster toads.
Faster toads.
Oh, that's so cute. Until they attack us and crit us and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm a little worried that they're going to have that tongue makes me think that they have reach and that they can grab. And then
Get to the center of the Tootsie Pop.
I'm hoping that they don't just tongue the brain and drag it down into the hole with their grab ability.
I'm upset by the term tongue the brain, and I want to
Yeah, Tyler,
strike that from the record.
How many licks does indeed it take to get to the brain pop center of a brain pop?
Brain stem.
The Abdullah oblongata, if you will. Okay, I've stalled enough looking for my initiative, and yeah, it's not great. So obviously, Drew going first with a 17. You see these things pop out of the hole right next to Javi and our good friend Alabians, and hovering above Piston. What do you want to do, Mixer?
Can I identify these things? I know we know their name, but can I identify some like facts about them and stuff like that?
Yeah, now that you can see them, life science will do. Before you would not have been able to because you couldn't see them.
That's a 23.
Okay, so a 23 is enough to know two things, two pertinent pieces of information. Do you have anything in particular or?
Special abilities?
There is a couple, and let's see, probably the most pertinent. Plates of impure thastardin cover their back, and there's a 20% chance that a critical hit against it is treated as a normal attack. And that's
good,
if you
good
hit,
to know, because I was planning to
backside.
crit them every time. So
This game loves to take your critical hits away. It loves it. I have never run across so many monsters that are just straight up, you can't crit me, or your crits don't affect me, or you can crit me, but maybe you won't. You got to roll a D100.
Drew, continue with your turn. Don't listen to Tyler's rant here. What?
do we have any
So something else you want to know about it?
weaknesses?
Let's see. I don't believe there are any weaknesses. That was its defensive capability. I will give you its KAC instead. It is 13. 13, level 1, you guys. What would you like to do?
KAC.
13.
All right. So,
Apparently you've got some teammates between you and them. They're about 35, 40 feet away surrounding this toad hole.
Mixer wants to pull out his ranged weapon, his Castogic Liquidator.
Yeah.
He's going to aim for the more southern one because he thinks he has a better shot at that. And he wants to load in the minor biohack. The basic biohack, the basic inhibitor, and hit this thing with it.
Yep, maybe a little easier to hit that than the other one. Still in a little bit of cover. Go ahead and make a shot.
That's an 8, which ain't great.
6 on the dice. A miss for you. But next in the turn order is Jewel. It's not their turn yet.
Yeah, Jewel is going to tell Piston to get out of there a bit. So Piston's going to back up a ways, and they are each going to take a shot. I am behind El Demonio right now. Does that mean that there's soft cover?
I mean, the one that Drew shot at is probably a little easier. The other toad, you've got Javi and Elabians kind of obfuscating the shot a little bit more. So a little easier to hit this one.
Yeah, I'll shoot. Jewel is going to shoot at the southern one, and Piston's going to shoot at the northern one.
Okay.
Gosh.
All right. Jewel shots. Rockin' an arc pistol if memory serves.
That's right. It's a 22 to hit for 3 damage.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay.
Okay. So it takes a shock, and the other one's taking some teleporting bullets.
It is with the skip shot pistol.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a natural 20.
Woo! Oh gosh! Oh, you went up
but
several
we go.
octaves.
Here we go.
There's a 1
It's
in
gonna
4
get
chance.
It's gonna get negated.
Now that you said that, yeah, it's gonna get negated. Let's go. Thastardin, hide, fortification.
What do I need to roll?
I will roll it as a 20% miss chance. So I'm rolling a D10, and we'll say a 9 or a 10. It is just a regular hit. It's a 6. It's a critical hit.
Yes.
Critical
All right.
hit. And
Call out a
let me-
Crittermander, Patrick. Before we roll this damage, call somebody out.
Oh boy, so many friends in our Patreon supporting us at right now the $10 or more level. Oh my goodness, there's so many. Who haven't we? Oh, the Double Doge, flanking buddy. Thank you so much for helping us out. This is a pretty good amount of
Doge.
damage, and there's bleed with it as well.
Yeah, that's my critical effect. So
no.
5 damage plus 2 bleed.
Oh no, that's very bad.
Great.
For these
Very
guys. Okay, and that is do you have you've already moved with Piston. All right, so that is your turn, and we are on to their turn. Our sweet faster toads, who Yeah, I don't think they necessarily have to move because they
Doesn't
got
seem like it.
they got some reach with their tongue attack. You might have been a little correct about that.
Oh boy.
Oh man, what? Chipper.
Let's make
I'm gonna buy you a 6-pack if you get this brain killed by toads.
this southern one is going to make a 10-foot kind of reach attack against Javi, trying to grab maybe one of those gun arms. Let's try that first. Okay, what is your KAC?
15.
15. I've rolled a 14. Not only is that a hit and you get blasted with some bludgeoning tongue damage. Let's roll that.
Oh, you're gonna take the gun out of my hand.
It is 4 points of bludgeoning damage. Gun's not out of your hand, but you are automatically grabbed by this tongue.
I called it. It has reach and grab.
It wraps its tongue around your arm, so you've got the grabbed condition. Let's do the same versus a brain.
I am invincible.
It's a natural one there. Let's call it.
Natural one.
Javi, stand back. These things are dangerous.
Oh, you guys just leveled up. All right, so I'm not pulling a card for these guys because these are actually lower level than you. So let's just move on. That one's not too happy. He'll actually maybe as a move action back up a little bit from you, Alebians, as it misses the giant brain in front of it. And let's go on to Javi. Your turn.
Sorry, you took that 2 bleed damage, right?
Oh, at the end of this one's turn, it does indeed. So technically, you've done 7 points of damage to this one on the north side of I guess the far east side of the hole right now, but the north of these two. Excellent. What you got, Tyler?
Well, I'm grappled.
Yes.
I'm gonna shoot it back, but that inflicts a -2 to this attack. I'm not gonna try to escape it. I'm just gonna try to shoot it. Hand cannon shot. I can have big number. Oh man, just never mind. Skip me.
A 5 on the dice is gonna be a miss. Oh,
9 is a big number in terms of like numbers of fingers. So it's all relative. You know?
on one hand, maybe.
It's especially big on one hand.
All right, I'm gonna pistol whip the brain. I need the.
Oh no!
I think that's it.
Alrighty, Alebians 21-2. What would you like to do?
Let's see. All right, this one is scooted away from me a little bit, and this one is it's tongue-tied. So I think I'm going to float back a short distance, and I'm going to cast a powerful spell upon this one to the south. Cast Daze.
No, not days.
Yay.
Not days for days.
It's dazing for days. It's a will save to negate.
Sorry, I'm drawing a tongue lashing out around Happy's arm. Okay, a will save for a faster toad. A 5 on the dice. I'm probably not gonna. I don't need to look that up. That's a miss or a fail, I should say. Real bad will save. So this one, gets its tongue around Javi, but then starts blinking wildly as it becomes dazed.
Yeah.
And that is
One
days
round, no action.
As the condition for its next turn. That will bring us to El Demonio. Ooh, last in the turn order, first in our hearts.
So El Demonio, seeing that Javi is in a sticky situation, is going to run up to this toad
Mm-hmm.
and
The dazed one.
and give him a Batista bomb.
Oh,
Batista made it through the gap.
Oh, off by 1 to 12.
yeah.
Of course,
dazed.
Batista made it to the gap, Tyler. Come on.
Versus EAC though, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, against EAC. That's a hit.
Vanguard.
All right, that's 3.
I was about to believe Miles about
Don't believe me about anything.
his number. Yes, that is a hit. So you come up and give him a good knocking about. He's still, completely out of it. Is just kind of like glazed over as it's got his tongue wrapped around Hobby 10 feet away.
It's sort of like the little Tweety birds are floating around, but it's little
Little
brains.
toads hopping. Oh, brains. You got brain dazed.
Ooh, you done got brained.
Turn 2, Drew. Back to you. It all rhymes.
All
This
right.
times.
So I think Mixer can make it down here from his.
All right. Yeah, moving close, moving into potential.
And can I
melee
swap
range.
weapons while I do that?
Swap weapons. You can bring out another weapon as you go.
Yeah, I guess I can because I want to pull out my needler and I want to poke El Demonio in the back to give him a basic booster. I give him.
I should say if you are doing something that requires 2 hands, you might need to drop the pistol because you won't have. It'll take a move action as well to like stow it.
And then I'll just shoot him in the back with a basic booster.
But yeah, if you're doing it to a friend, perfectly fine.
So yeah, and so El Demonio, you got +1 to AC right now, buddy.
Awesome.
Since you're in the mix.
You just come up and just air inject him in the back with the gun. Just zoom. Okay, Jewel, back to you. Miss Crit 2021.
Yeah, let's try to repeat that.
Oh, I wish you would.
Let's see. I'm trying to think if I need to move anybody anywhere. I'm going to move Piston over a little bit just to get a clear shot on the one to the north that has bleed on it. And Jewel is going to continue against the one to the south. So Jewel goes first. It's a 24 to hit, 2 damage.
This one to the south that's dazed first.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, definitely a hit. Obviously, been rolling rocks there as well. 19.
All right, and then Piston is taking a shot at the other one. Oh, that's a natural 1. Oh no.
That's how it works.
Piston.
That's how it happens.
Oh.
That's how you go. All right, let me pull. Oh, do you want a official crit fail or a cosmic Crittermander fail?
Let's do a Crittermander fail.
And even the drone draws a card. Come on.
Yeah, I was about to say if the drone draws.
I think that was our ruling. Was the drone was a no for both crit hits and fails
Well, it can
for
get
season
crits. 2. It just can't get a card, right?
Yes. Yeah, no cards for the drone.
I can't remember that far back in my life, so I have no idea.
Just
That's
to
fine with me.
Keep it going.
Okay.
Yeah, there's so many that like, especially our Crittermander ones, I don't think are like geared towards drones. But anyway, I mean, it's a after a direct hit, this one just goes like completely wide. I think your drone is way off calibration. That is going to be your turn and brings us back to the toads. And I've got a couple targets now. Let's see who this one that's not dazed wants to go for. Did I roll a dice? I did. And that is that's going to be El Demonio. So this one that is not dazed is 10 feet away. I'm going to try and make that tongue attack against our orc fighter friend. So first things first. Ooh, this is against KC. Hey, your KC is 18 right now, Miles?
Yes.
Oh boy, that's another hit. And that is another grab with the tongue. 4 points of bludgeoning damage. And I'll draw more tongues on the battlefield here. Going over to
Never
you.
cross the streams, Patrick. What are you doing?
And let me just double check some rules.
All right, now if you move this way, I move that way, they'll be tongue-tied.
I don't think it's going to move on its turn. Well, actually, you see it kind of. Actually, can it do this? It's going to move and start going down into the hole. It's still reachable from where you are, but it looks like it wants to drag you down into the hole. That seems to be its its ability. So it's like climbing on the edge of its toad hole. And the other one is snaps out of its daze. And this guy that's dragging you down is bleeding out, takes another 2 points of bleed. And Javi, we're back to you.
So there's a toad. There's still a toad attached to me, and now the toad that's attached to El Demonio Verde is trying to drag him down. I'm gonna shoot the toad that's still attached to me.
Yeah, I don't think the grapple condition end unless you kind of like end it.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. Is that a move action or a standard action to do that?
I believe a move.
Oh, well,
I'll double check under acrobatic skills.
If it's a move action, I might as well go for it since I'm not using that.
Because that's the escape ability, right? Oh, nope, it is a standard action unless you have an ability.
Forget about it.
All right, taking a shot at the one grappling you or no?
The one grappling me, yeah.
The one grappling him.
Okay. Right ahead.
At a -2. But if I could just roll not total trash, that'd be fun. Just would rather. Ooh. I would rather eat the petrified remains of a hedgehog's quills than play this game sometimes.
I mean, this makes sense. I'm not even sure. I guess you have to actually spend a move action to reload it because you're like down to one hand basically if you're grappled in this situation, right?
Yeah, which is fine.
All right, but you can still quick reload. I guess that makes sense.
I can still reload as a swift action.
I guess technically it's got the unwieldy trait if you're not able to put both hands on it, but that doesn't matter. If you roll a 2, Alabians, 21-2. You got 2 2s in your name.
Oh boy. Is there one of these guys that looks a little worse for the wear than the other one?
The one trying to drag El Demonio down into the hole, you see an actively kind of bleeding gut wound on it.
All right, I'm gonna take a little scoot back, and I'm going to open up my enormous brain, and I'm going to reach out with powerful mind bullets, and of course I mean energy ray. I'm gonna shoot it with an energy ray.
Gotcha.
Ranged attack. 14 versus the AC.
A hit.
All right. Let's say it's electricity.
Okay. All right. I like it.
2 points of electricity.
Alrighty, this one's looking pretty bloodied, trying to bring Demonio down. El Demonio, it is your turn.
All right. So he is going to obviously try to attack the one that's trying to drag him down. Maybe use that tongue to try to smash him into the wall or something.
We'll see what the dice say. You currently are grappled as well, so don't think that'll really affect you with your grappled it's -2 to most attack rolls, but just a single attack.
Yes, and that's a 20 to hit.
Hit for
4 points of damage.
4 damage. Okay, so it is still up, but he's looking ragged. This one, as we go to turn 3, and Drew back.
Should have rolled twice.
All
Shoulda,
right.
coulda, woulda.
Mixer is going to pull out his needler, his sword in the other hand, and run to the other side of this tonguey boy, and just hit it with the sword.
All right, flanking with El Demonio.
Say 21 to hit.
Yeah, that's a hit
For 18 points of damage.
Whoa!
I can't imagine that's not correct.
True.
Yeah, you don't get a +14 to damage.
Plus
Drew.
14 static bonus.
What are you, level 15?
I'm sorry. I put it. I don't know why there's. No, that's definitely wrong.
Is it plus?
I'm level 12.
Is it +4?
No, yeah. I had a +1 in there for some reason that ended up getting a 1/1. No, it should be just plus nothing. So let's see.
You don't have a strength?
No strength bonus?
Well, my strength is just +1, so
Okay, so it should just be 1d4 plus or 1d6 plus 1, so it's 5.
I love how nonchalantly you said 18 points of damage.
We've been playing upper level characters.
We've been playing.
It kind of makes sense, but all right. So now that one is bloodied, and they both look about the same kind of bad off or worse off as we go on to Jewel.
All right. Jewel is going to I think we're going to do the same thing, except for this time the drone is going to shoot twice. Can I do that? And can I have Piston shoot twice and Jewel shoot just once?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so Jewel goes first. That's a natural 1.
Oh boy!
Good job,
all right.
Jewel.
All right, so actual Crittermander.
Can you say that in Jewel's voice though?
Well, gosh darn it!
Why do these things keep moving?
This stinking gun! I need to get a new one.
I'm gonna throw this one down a hole. Down a toad hole.
Not a terrible. Oh no, wait. That's the melee. Submitted by. I don't know if I've seen this one. Caro Cogitatus. This is called Neutrino Burst Overload. Your weapon overpowers, causing double damage, but the recoil. Wait, this is a critical fail. But the recoil throws off your aim. Oh, make a second attack roll at a random target. Allies in it. We have seen this one. Enemies and yourself included. A crit of natural 1 on this second is ignored. Okay, so in your field of view, I think in the battle, why don't we roll a D8?
Dude, there's 8.
Am I rolling that?
Yeah, go for it. Master of your own destiny.
It's a 4.
That's one of the toads.
Good.
Right? Oh no, that's Javi. I'm sorry, I included you in this count.
Dang it.
Javi is 4th down on the initiative turn. Oh no, I guess no, because you could have killed your drone. No, that's one of the toads. That's this southern one here. So you get to make a second attack at potentially double damage. With the second attack. So
all right.
Are we gonna use the first macro's damage? Are we gonna double that one, or are we gonna double this new one?
We'll double the new one.
Okay.
See what happens.
It's a 16 to hit.
Yeah, that is a hit even through El Demonio. So double damage is 8 points, and that one's dead.
Best critical fail ever. Best critical fail ever.
That was very lucky.
You could have taken out your drone or somebody else with some very dangerous damage. I think that one has gone against someone on your team in the past.
Yes.
I didn't remember the name, but thank you, Caro Cogitatus. We still got 2 attacks from Piston.
Yes, so these will be at -4 each, right?
Correct. I wanted to say -5
that's
because
4.
of PF2E, but all right, first one is a miss. That's why we rolled twice, right? Natural 2 on the first and a natural 4 on the second. Okay, we're moving on to this last bastard toad who will, I guess, try and drag El Demonio down. Let me make a I guess like a drag attack. What would that be under a combat? Whatchamacallit? Combat maneuver.
I think it's just like a melee attack, right?
Yeah. Oh, yes, it is that. But I'd have to roll pretty high. So let me try that. It is gonna move down into the bottom of the pit. Out. Well, I guess. Yeah. I guess it'd be outside of your range, just like 10 feet down now, and try and drag you down with it. Miles. An 18 on the dice is enough, believe it or not. Plus 8 to your KAC. Oh, you go down, good sir, into the muck with our friend. Make me a reflex save, Miles.
All right. It's a 16.
Okay, so half damage. I believe it's just D6 for falling in the pit. Whoa, but you do land prone and take 1 point of damage as we go into Javi, and you see the toad on you is dead, but your friend is down in the hole with this other one.
Can I see the other toad?
Oh, And that other one takes some damage. Yes, you're standing right at the edge of the pit. I think maybe El Demonio's a little in the way.
Rips the tongue off of his gun hand. Now he can use both hands. He has no excuse for why he shouldn't hit this next attack.
I mean, that is a great reason why the other ones were miss. Yeah.
He feels more confident than he's ever felt in his entire life as he aims at this ugly toad.
You're gonna have to use your level reroll if you fail this.
Yeah, get blasted, toad.
Oh, that's a hit.
3 points of damage.
Oh, that is enough to kill it. It had 3 hit points, and we are out.
Wait, so if I'm dangling, does it just drop me down this hole?
Oh no, you already fell down.
You did get dropped down the hole.
That was the damage you took. So you're about 10 feet down.
Oh, so it's not like a big hole.
I mean, 10 feet is a significant hole.
It's a swimming pool. Like,
how 6 feet under is where they bury bodies. So you're like up, the ground is like a few feet above your head. Make me a perception check while you're down there, Miles.
All right.
I guess everyone can make a perception check. We're out of combat now.
18.
Oh, never mind. Don't roll perception checks. We got it. It is fortuitous, perhaps, that you're down there. It's an easier check when you're in the bottom of this pit. You find a half buried container, like a large chest in the bottom of this toad hole.
What if it's another 5 serums of healing?
Maybe a little bit better than that is 5,000 UPBs and a Mark 1 Mind Link circlet.
Good news, Javi. Good news.
Yeah. Javi's getting a new gun.
I was going to ask if the container said TCRI, but never mind.
Yeah, way to go. Boy, it was DC 15 perception check if you go down there, and DC 20, I was like, oh, they're going to lose so many credits in this fight that they are never going to find. How are you guys doing? You need to take a rest. I think after this, Barry 13 comes forward and says, those were giant toads that tried to kill you. How are you all?
Annoyed.
Do not worry, Very. We bested them most expertly. They didn't even touch us. And I go over and I pat Jewel on the head.
Javi looks down at his clothes and says, I've got toad saliva on my clothes. It's the most expensive thing I own is this shirt. And now it smells like, oh, dang.
Let me do a life science check. Let me do a life science check to see if the toad saliva is the most expensive thing he's wearing.
Very 13 comes up and says, I mean, I don't know if this makes you feel better or worse, but I mean, don't worry about it. You smelled very bad before this. It will not make a difference. You smell like the desert.
El Demonio pats Hot in the back and say, don't worry. We got enough money to take care of that.
Turns out there was enough money in there, and just enough for you to get a bath. In his pockets.
You said there was 5,000 credits in there?
5,000.
Yeah.
UPBs, not credits.
Get yourself a new set of clothes.
I mean, yeah, UPBs. If anyone's got the technical know-how, you can potentially spend some downtime out here in the wastes and put together some items. Yeah, we are out of combat here, and you guys can continue on. Does anyone want to take a 10-minute rest?
Nope. No.
I'm in shape.
Yeah. Anybody in HP that I can heal? Guess not.
Nope.
Yeah, no one. Definitely no one in HP. I think I already hit twice, two times. Okay,
D4s.
Yeah, I'm not great D4s. Okay, so you guys found the loot. That's a big positive for you. This adventure, I'd be checking like every single junk heap that you pass. Be like, I'm just taking 20 on all the junk. There's got to be something good
into every hole.
Yeah, we're sticking our head immediately in every single hole from here on out. Yeah, it's not too long after this encounter, maybe like 1 in the afternoon or so, as you're going deeper in the direction you believe the stellar flare to be. You come across a jumble of rusting iron cross beams that look like they've been ripped from inside a starship. And in the distance, you hear a couple voices, kind of loud, maybe arguing, kind of echoing through the canyons of junk here. What would you guys like to do?
Listen in on them.
At this distance, maybe 100 feet away or so, with like junk in between, they're just like it's a very indistinct chatter. At you'd have to get closer.
Then El Demonio would like to sneak up and get closer.
Ooh, I guess this is the point where we have the stealth conversation. Is anyone trained or got some?
El Demonio has +5 to stealth.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
Mixer is a bartender. He's used to being able to hear people over huge crowds and lots of noise. Can I roll a bartender check to see if he can hear anything that's going on?
Well,
Are you in a bar?
There's not.
Are we in a bar right now? Did we teleport inside a bar where it would be applicable?
I thought it was really okay.
You're literally.
I was
There's
told
no
there would be
way,
a
not in a
honky-tonk.
crowd.
Maybe I can hear. I don't know.
So quiet here.
I mean, 10 points for trying. I love the effort.
And -20 for wasting our time.
No, Drew, make your bartender check right now.
Oh.
Make it.
Watch me. I'm gonna have to eat my words.
Natural 20.
You still don't hear anything. I'm just
That is because profession bartender isn't perception.
No, that is enough to perhaps get
funny.
timbre, not words, but the timbre, the tone of what is being said. Make me a life science check. What do
18.
What do your former goblin ears hear? That is enough to not only identify one voice, but two. Not what they're saying at this distance, like I said, but you can tell one of these voices is the, how would I put it? The shrill, the overly shrill, excited voice of a goblin. And the other is that of a dour, the hissing sounds of an Akeshti. The supposed two factions that are at war out here in the Outer Junk lands.
I say we sneak up on them.
Yeah, I'm still gonna sneak up on them.
Yeah. Does everyone want to roll me a stealth check moving forward?
Are we all stealthily moving forward?
It's up to you.
I mean, it appears so.
Can I send my drone? My drone has stealth.
Yeah. Do you want to stay behind a little bit? So you're.
Yeah, I'll stay behind a little bit.
Albion.
My eyes.
Albions, do you want to as well?
No, I am the sneakiest.
It doesn't matter. Rebecca rolled 20.
Well, I will say that a certain number of the people stealthing forward have to make successes in order for you guys to move completely stealthy. Albions and Jewel are moving back, and we've got Mixer, Demonio, Javi, and Piston moving forward, and the rolls not in any order. 17, 14, 6 Tyler, and a natural 20 from Piston, who is a stealth drone. Yes. No.
Yeah, apparently hover drones are really good at stealth.
Well, I think isn't there also a stealth drone? Well, they're stealthy enough. They're like, chopping up the air, and that's about it. All right. So a couple of you will get close enough, and obviously Javi is like shuffling his feet as he goes, but you can hear as you get closer, maybe about 40 feet away, there's still a little bit of junk in front of you. These voices, a female space goblin, and maybe you get bits and pieces through the junk heap. You can see a dirty pair of coveralls rummaging through what looks like a large chest, and in the background looks like a male Akeshti in a shiny silver flight suit. The Akeshti you can hear say, "Just what is it in there? You've been rummaging for hours." "Oh, nothing get in here," the goblin answers and closes the lid. "See, this is what I was talking about. We have to focus." The goblin balances on one leg, begins picking a nose with a pinky finger, and says, "What? Merc, the Midzone. You said you had a way to get into that starship. Yes, I have a plan. She hops off the trunk, opens it, and says, "Oh, there might be something in here. Just give me some time." Once you guys watching this interchange, give me a sense motive check. So that's the I guess the four of you that have stealth forward here.
No.
Oh boy, natural.
Yeah.
Oh no, you roll natural 20. You're not even there.
I am there. I was the 17 that stealth forward.
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm sorry. I rolled. Who didn't stealth forward? Rebecca,
Jules.
did you roll?
Didn't. No, I didn't roll. I rolled for the drone, but
Oh, I miss Eldemonia's check was a 12. Gotcha. Okay. Sorry about that. I only saw the 4. All right. Well, another natural 20 and also a natural 16 from Mixer, who's also Drew rolling rocks. You guys can tell these two are very friendly with one another, and this seems at odds at the information you got that these groups, the information from Riddle that they were at war with each other, and I mean they don't have weapons out. They don't seem to be fighting at this point. What would you guys like to do?
I mean, they were talking about a starship. I mean, I'm just wondering. I mean, maybe if these guys know where it is, maybe we can work out a deal, because we just came into some money. Maybe we can split some cash with them if they'll.
And I'm not rolling too well today, so I think we should try to avoid combat.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's what me and Piston and Mixer up there at the top, just being like making this decision.
Oh no, it's everyone. Everyone except Very. Jewel is there in the spirit with Piston.
Oh, okay. All right. Well then, I don't know. What do you think? You want to just try to get them to show us where the starship is?
Yeah. Hey, Mixer, you go first.
I hold Mixer's hand and I say, "We will go together."
All right,
Good
just
luck.
keep it quiet.
Eldemonio is gonna.
My middle name.
Eldemonio is going to kind of silently walk behind them, kind of to impose as almost like a bodyguard.
Sure. So yeah, if you're just walking out in the open, they say, "Wow, well, who are you guys?"
Greetings, fellow travelers. We are but mere researchers and explorers of foreign worlds. We have come into the information that you know of a starship of which we may seek, and we seek to make a deal.
Oh, these guys must be psychic. They know exactly what we're talking about.
I am an enormous brain.
Here is some character art for Merc, the goblin,
it's
and
so cute.
It's very
Kesh.
cute.
These
Kesh.
are now my best friends. I am
Kesh
going
the
to join
Kesh.
their party.
Merc has like 3D goggles.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
one's
a dope
red
look.
and one's blue.
I know.
Oh,
Merc has those little buck teeth. Oh, so sweet.
Cash, the goblin gods have answered my prayers. We have a humble request for aid for you, junk tourists. We are indeed seeking to get inside a great salvage, like top of the line. The Akeshti speaks up and says, Merc, don't you see these folks? Yes, they could be the key indeed to helping us, not just with the salvage, but ending this accursed war between our peoples. They don't look like much, and they probably are able to at least act as a great diversion if they can help us with the big wreck. Maybe Bomb Guzzle and us Ashla will put aside their differences and declare peace.
Well, you two sure seem friendly. Why are your people fighting all the time?
Oh, you see my peoples. We're called the Trash Hunters. And we tried to claim this part of the junk as our own. And Kesh's people, they're called the Unbrewed. And well, they moved in and they claimed the territory known as Midzone, as their own. And anyway, they went to war, and a whole bunch of Akestes and goblins got their teeth knocked in, and so they called a truce. We're in a truce right now, but we're the only two that are working towards peace. Everyone else just kind of hates each other's guts.
Oh, classic. Ooh.
You guys are out here seeking something too. What is it you're looking for? You said a ship?
Indeed, we seek a powerful starship of an ancient time. And I pull out my many pages long CV and I say, I am a professor at the University of Cabaret, and you can see my publications on the subject are many and extensive. Our interest is somewhat academic, one might say.
Oh, yes, one might say. If they understood half of those fancy words you just said.
Curriculum vitae.
So you're looking for something fancy out here. Well, we know the fanciest salvage because, it wasn't totally picked over. And maybe are you seeking something like that? Nice old, potentially intact ship?
We sure are. We're looking for something called the Stellar something. Stellar. Have it written down.
Wind.
Stellar Flame. Stellar Flame.
Stellar Flame. That's the one.
Stellar Flare. But
Stellar Degenerator
is the one.
They don't know the name, but if Very 13 describes it a little bit, they're like, "No, that's the ship. That's the one that we're trying to get inside. We can take it to you right now. No problem."
Well, how about that, partner? It's like Kismet.
We're best friends. You're my friends now.
This is perfect. Everything's going so well.
I do not like the idea of having to split the cut an additional 2 ways, but if they can help us.
Ooh, there's a cut. Yeah, I want to get cut. Let's get cut.
No, Javi, I was just going to offer them acknowledgements in my paper. Oh, no.
They were getting BCC'd on the emails.
they were going to get middle author.
Friend, as nice as that may be, I do not think that they will want that.
Oh, these are scholars of the highest order.
The Akeshti, who's got a strong Eeyore vibe about him, speaks up. I was like, Merc, that won't do us any good. You see, some of Merc's tribe already entered the ship. They brought in some of their tech to hotwire it, but it set off the ship's security defenses. And, well, all those dead goblins, it is so sad. But the security defenses, it sealed off the ship. And not only is the airlock completely sealed, but it is protected with some kind of very powerful force field, so it is hopeless, unfortunately. It's not hopeless, Trump. Well, like I said, I've got an idea. I'm going to create an EMP device, a focused one that can knock out that door, completely short it out. And strangers, if your guys are willing to get your hands dirty and get to junking, well, I need 3 main parts to put together my EMP key and crack open that door.
All right.
Well, I'm sure we can help you out.
All right, let's divide up into 3 separate groups and go in different directions looking for these pieces. That's what we're doing this season, right?
Yep,
Merc
absolutely.
and Kesh and me are all together on one team.
That's a team, all right.
Are Jewel and Piston on their own?
Barry will go with you, right? And then Hoppy, Demonio, and Mixer. It's like the super team. Merc will go on to describe in very non-technical but still highly technical goblin engineer terms the 3 pieces that they're looking for to put together a device that potentially can defeat this force field. Do you want to make me an engineering check? I mean, anyone, but specifically Jewel, to see if you can kind of figure out what they're going. Well, I guess Bert also, you got you got technical skills. After she explains, kind of the pieces, you figure that, the barriers like that have been, with localized electromagnetic pulses, knocked out before, and this device that she's figuring out, if they can tune it to the right frequency, would be able to knock open even like a capital ship's kind of defenses, door defenses for a time.
Yes, Jewel, I think that would work.
All right, so she describes basically three things: an electrolytic capacitor, a size 23 harmonic coil, and a plasma charger circuit, and has some ideas of like different directions of the Outer Junklands to head to, though part of it is going into Trash Hunter Goblin territory. Another one, the harmonic coil, is going into the unbrewed Akeshti turf. Do you have one that you want to go for first? They can like give you some information about like the peoples that you'll find there. Any cardinal direction at least you guys want to head?
When we came from the west.
Yeah, and you've been kind of going in like a northeasternly route.
Okay,
from Kefak Depot.
Oh, let's see. I'm using my big brain to determine the direction.
Yeah, well, and there's also, there's one in kind of Goblin territory, one in Akeshti territory, and one that they think is kind of in the Midzone as well, in this like middle ground. And when describing that one, that territory of the Midzone, Kesh is kind of describing it as, a no man's land, and Merc chimes in and says, "Oh, yeah, there's nobody like living out there, but what about the privateer?" And Kesh clarifies, it's like, "Oh, yes, there's a very cranky old Vesk picker, who we call the privateer out in that direction. He is a hard-edged Vesk who arrived in the Outer Junkfields over a month ago and is not one to trade with others. If he has the piece we're looking for, it might be very difficult to get it from him. He is just so intense."
Does Kesh have any sense of some way that we could make friends with the Akeshti folks, and sort of
you must be careful of the unbrewed. We don't take kindly to trespassers. Merc mentions as well that they had the Goblin tried to have a plasma charger circuit, but some kind of creature out in the wastes that they call the Golem stole it from them, basically. And Kesh will talk about this creature and says, "Oh, it is very dangerous. The junk golem of the Midzone is a foe that punches like a truck. I've seen it destroy someone with a single hit, and it is immune to most of our magics."
Well, I'd vote for the Grumpy Vesk first.
The privateer, I believe, has some knowledge of this junk golem. Perhaps it is best, before you take it on, that you seek his counsel.
That sounds like a fine plan to me.
Their camp is near the northern edge of the Outer Junkfields, in the shadow of a ruined Veskarium cruiser. Right, so heading out in that direction, I think Merc and Kesh can remain behind in kind of their little temporary camp with Very 13, who will continue trying to kind of do some research out here on bits and pieces. Maybe they'll go within like distance of the stellar flare, which is, you can walk by it, is, almost completely covered in junk, and only like a few bulkhead walls and like the exhaust ports in the back are sticking out of the junk. It's very easy to see how people cannot have looked this over for some time. But yeah, as you head northernly. Maybe another half hour passes here as you're making your bearings out to where this Vesk has set up. Fast forward there. So it's a 30-minute walk from Merc and Kesh's camp, and when you get to the shadow of this massive dark green starship, kind of like at an angle jutting out of the sands here, you see past a large clearing, a couple of small lean-tos and what looks to be pretty hastily thrown together settlement. There is broken weaponry, like massive laser arrays and plasma cannons that have been gutted, jutting from the hull of this Veskarium ship, and it casts a long shadow over this clearing here, and there are some small craters, what looks like, between you and this encampment. Some of them ringed with scorch marks, marring the red dirt around you guys. Let me show you a map. Ooh, map. More maps. Here's not here. All right. Here we go. This is what you see, and in the distance, like I said, about like 60 feet away or so, 50, 60 feet, you see the encampment. You don't see anybody moving about there from that distance. What would you guys like to do?
Perception check?
Call out. Perception's probably better as a first call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely take a look around.
Yeah, roll for it.
So, not a lot for me.
Bunch of crabby rolls.
I mean, there could be someone in the encampment. You can't, like, there's some areas that are blocked off with like small walls and tents and things. You don't see any movement there. That doesn't look like it's caused by like the wind kind of maybe rattling some junk wind chimes and things.
Well, I think Javi will just move up and just shout out like, anybody here? We're looking for, what was this guy's name?
A privateer.
We're looking for a man or person vest called the Privateer. If you're here, make yourself known.
So I actually need you to, don't read into this at all, but can you map out the exact squares you walk forward? Because you've walked about 15 feet forward here.
Yeah, it would have been, how do I do this? Been like, I think I can, oops, not like that. Here, how do you, those spaces, did that work? I don't know how to do that anymore. I would have gone here, then diagonally, and then forward and forward.
Yeah, you don't see anything as you move forward here. And no one responds to your call outs.
Okay, then Javi would just keep walking straight forward while bop, 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 bop towards the shack. And he's gonna take a look around this like little makeshift structure there. So so at this distance you can pretty much tell there's no one inside. Do you guys want to back him up? Javi will turn around and shout back, looks like there ain't anybody home.
Yeah, I'll float forward.
Yeah, that's famous last words. So I'm up there.
Right. Unfortunately, I will stop you a little bit of ways there, Miles, as you move forward. If you are indeed next in the line, as you step forward to this shack, not falling somehow directly in Super Lucky Javi's footsteps, you hear a very soft, muted click underneath your feet, and bursting forth underneath you with explosive force are the words "to be continued."
Oh, this is the first time someone's taken damage from onomatopoeia.
Blam, blast, boom. Thank you guys for playing with me.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
We are getting back to this next week, but I should say I just want to thank all of our listeners. We've got a very enthusiastic response from our first episode of this that has already dropped, and people loving these crazy characters you've made up. And gotta say, I'm very happy we decided to go with this decision instead of jumping immediately into season 4, because it's a lot of fun and it's provided me with a little creative boost, I guess should say. So I'm having a lot of fun with this, and believe it or not, we're almost halfway done with Junker's Delight.
Yeah.
Which is like crazy to think it's like we just started, but I'm having a lot of fun, and already our fans are enjoying it. So thank you for playing with me, and guys out there, thanks for listening. That's going to do it. We'll see you next time on Cosmic Grit. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Cosmic Grit, an officially licensed partner of Paizo Incorporated. The Starfinder role-playing game and adventure paths are trademarks of Paizo. All Pathfinder and Starfinder images are property of Paizo and are used with permission.